What's up, everybody? Good evening. It's us, your open-minded mystics. I'm so excited to be here. Today is Monday, May 30th, 1st, and I almost forgot the first part. What was that? I don't even know. I think that was somebody from
That was me. Sorry, I forgot to turn that off.
It's okay. It's Monday, May 31st. Welcome. It is Memorial Day, and I'm so excited to be here. My name is Donna V. I'm here with Tracy, Locke, and of course, Kim Mazzella, mindset coach and light docent. What's up, ladies?
Oh, so excited to be here on Memorial Day. First of all, Donna, I want to say before we get started, thank you to all of our troops and the families of the troops and those that have given their lives to our country, for our country. We want to thank you guys so much. We remember you. You are never forgotten. I just want to, really stress that. We all get excited about an extra day off of work and a holiday, but we always have to remember what it is for. And we say, God bless America and God bless all of our troops. And we're thinking of you and sending you great mojo your way. And thank you for all that you do. So I want to say that first before we get anything started.
There you go.
And I'm feeling patriotic. I've got my blue on. I'm ready. I'm ready. My flag is outside, but I have it flying.
There you go.
Thank you.
Kim, you have any spiritual words that you want to say for anyone in our armed forces?
I do. I would love to say first, if everybody could just close their eyes and imagine light pouring down onto the world, and it infuses into all the bodies of everyone who has served our country. We want to thank them. Imagine all the families coming together, keeping our servicemen safe and men and women safe. We want to thank you for all that you've done. And I ask that you're lifted in light and lifted in love, and your families come together, and all of you near and far are kept safe and flooded with peace and joy and the knowledge that you are loved. Amen.
Amen to that.
That was beautiful. Sure. Thank you
for
that. Was
beautiful.
And I'm going to welcome our audience. I mean, we have audience coming in. Sherry Freed saying, ladies. And she said, dang, Locke, look at those lashes. I mean, you look like a movie star.
Oh, man.
Mystics. And yes, definitely love to the families who lost loved ones who have protected us.
Yes.
I want to welcome everyone that's here, that's made a comment, or maybe is sitting back and just relaxing and watching tonight. Welcome you. We definitely are an interactive show, and we love the comments and the questions. If I don't put you up on the screen because we're in the middle of something, don't worry about it. You'll be up by the end, and that's just what we do, right? Hey, Jerry Reesby, all the way from Texas. I love it, Jerry. I started my day with him on Storytime with Donna V, and now here we are with our open-minded mystics. I mean, really, what could be better than this day?
I know, a full day. I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm so excited. I have to say, ladies, that I was not able to join you last week. I was in Chicago, and you had a killer show. I saw some of it. I caught, a couple things, but it was so good. It was so interesting, and I'm loving our guests. It adds like a cool new element to the show, which I really love. But I wanted to get your impression because you guys were in it with Angela Grace. It was like super cool to watch, and I'm like, oh man, I hope she does a painting for us.
Well, that's funny that you say that, is that yesterday I had the pleasure of spending some time alone with her, we were on the phone and we were discussing things, and it was an iPhone conversation, if you want to say that, FaceTime, and we started my painting.
Wait, what? I can't hear anything that's going on. I've got Crash Boom Bam behind me. Go ahead. Say that again.
What's happening over there? You look like, I know right now, if you're all of a sudden your connection went a little wonky. You look like maybe you're blurred. Like, I don't know. Are you in the witness protection program?
I don't know. I think Chris just fell down the stairs. I think that's what happened.
I don't know.
But anyway, say that again because I missed it. Am I blurry?
You're blurry. So I don't know.
All right, I'm going to go out and come back in. I'll be right back. I'll be right back.
So Angela Grace, we were so just like amazed by her presence last week. She was just, right or wrong, Kim, wasn't that amazing?
Was. I mean, first place when she said soul painting, I'm like, this should be interesting because me, I'm always open to what people do, and I didn't know what it would look like. I didn't know if it would be colors, but everyone is so interesting and everyone is so different. And I love that she has no idea what she's going to do when she starts doing it. And she even like amazes herself with her intuition and her ability to just receive message from spirit and translate that onto paper. And it's really interesting because there she is.
Yeah, me too.
The first painting that you put up, and I'd never seen her work before. First painting that you put up, I got such a different, like the impression was, wow, that's beautiful, but I didn't understand it. And when she started explaining it, it was amazing. And then I thought, well,
this one,
gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'm loving those colors. Oh my God, that's so my colors. Love
right.
that.
And I really didn't know what it was. And when she started to explain what it meant and how the significance of all the colors and the significance of the pieces and the shoulders with the beads, were they the
with the ball bearings and the leather,
ball bearings in it, and what it meant, and how she's able to intuit that from someone and just pull it out of them. So amazing. I definitely cannot wait to see what she does with you. So exciting.
I'm excited. This is the
Wait a second. Okay, so I missed that part, Donna. Did she say she's going to do a soul painting for you? I'm going to cry right now.
I started doing it. We started doing it yesterday.
Oh my God, that is amazing.
I'm so lucky. I'm so grateful because we got to spend some time together. And I will tell you that I don't know what it is, but I just want to just say that I feel like I've known her before. And the first time I was able to speak to her on the phone, which was on the 23rd of May, and I spoke about this briefly. I'd come home from my daughter's graduation from college. I just didn't know what to expect to talk to her. It was also the first time coming home that I was leaving a family event where, you know, I'm divorced and the kids, you know, go off with their dad, and then you come home to an empty house. It was also Yogi's birthday. I was so sad because I came home for the first time without, you know, Yogi like greeting me and, you know, being there for comfort and love. And I pulled myself together and I said, I'm going to call her because I made a promise to speak to her. We spoke for 4 hours. And one of the first stories that she told me had a message about a dog. I mean, she's just an incredible person. She's just really is. Not only is she talented, but she is so super kind. And this painting, we showed this last week. I just want to show you, Tracy. One of my favorite parts about that was, I don't know, you see on the side where the yellow is and the different layers, those are representations of different lives that person lived.
Wow.
And she said that when she spoke to this person, that they were really tired. And the way that she was able to interpret it was, she was like, well, of course you're tired. You've had so many lives and no rest in between. Because you see how they're like sandwiched together?
Yes, rings, concentric rings, right. Wow.
If you have not checked out, you know, her work, I'm going to ask you or tell you that it would be really great after the show, of course, because we want to keep you guys here, that you want to check her out. She's on Facebook and Instagram, Ongela Grace, and she just is super talented, super beautiful soul. I mean, it makes so much sense when you speak to her that she's the soul painter, because you could just feel her energy is just beautiful.
Well, can I ask you too, because I only saw part of it because of, you know, what I was doing. Can you nutshell it for me, guys? So basically what you do is she speaks to you over the phone or via Zoom, obviously because of COVID.
Correct.
And then she gets kind of like a vibe from you. And then based on whatever vibe she gets, she paints whatever comes to her. Correct?
It's more than a vibe. And then I know, Kim, I'm going to let you talk, but like just from just doing it yesterday, we were speaking and she said she could do it when somebody's quiet, which, you know, that's not my style, but, or talking to her. And then that is like it allows my soul to speak to her, and she interprets it in the painting. And I'm not going to give away anything about my painting. She did show me little bits and pieces as she was doing it, and told me the conversation alone was amazing.
Right.
But I will say, I cannot wait. I just can't wait to see it. And she said, like, keep sending me vibes. She said to me when we hung up, because she continues to paint it when you're off the phone.
Now, and I'm just going to ask this, then I'll shut up because I know Kim has some stuff she wants to say too. But I'm so curious. Does she say to you, like, what color palette do you want?
Nope.
Or it's all great. I love that. I love that it's all her interpretation.
Nothing to do with that. It's all what she hears, what she interprets, what she gets as her message. It's unbelievable.
And one of the things that I like that she said, it's really intuitive for her. It's about getting messages. So you you could not have a conversation with her if that's not what you're about. And she'll still make an amazing, she finds out stuff from you as she's painting. And I think she doesn't really necessarily know what it's going to be until she starts doing it and starts getting those impressions. And I think she was saying even that she was surprised as she goes through them, what happens. It's almost like an unfolding of spirit information, that it's kind of like a joint work between her spirit and the person's spirit. It's amazing. Really very, and what I love about it is I never met anybody who did anything. I mean, what I love about our show is we are open-minded enough to say, you're a soul painter, come on up. You're a witch, come on up. And we may have our own agenda about what this thing means. And I certainly was like, because have you ever seen those ads on Facebook where they're like, I can paint your soulmate? And I'm like, and I was like, oh, is it going to be something like that? But it's nothing like that. It's not like it really is such a beautiful coming together of like melding of art and spirit and connection. I think it's amazing. She's awesome. If everybody should be calling her.
Yes, exactly.
I agree with that. And I think like the first impression that some people might get is, okay, is this going to be something that you would find on like the boardwalk? Or no, this is something.
It's not spray painted.
No, because it's like you do, like if you don't know what it is, exactly like you said, is it a gimmick? Absolutely not. It is an expression of art. And one of my favorite things is that she had said, you could do a soul painting today. And then 5 years from now, you could do a soul painting, and she could see, like, if you have passed through blockages, if you have, like, if the painting is similar, but like, it's like there's an evolution. Like, you're not going to get the same painting unless you don't make any changes. See, it's true. If you don't make any changes, and we're definitely going to have her back on.
Great,
because when she's finished with my painting, I'm going to be open about it, and I hope, I'm like, oh gosh, maybe she should tell me what it is first before she puts it, because
no, you've got to just let it
go. Your soul down.
I'm gonna let it. Yeah, I'm open to it. And I said to her, one of the things I said when we hung up was, "Thank you for allowing me to be vulnerable and open, because that's so like ladies, we've all gone to the doctor and got a checkup, if you will, and you're naked, but this is like someone's looking into your soul and." If you're open to it, which you should be, if you're led to this, and
you'll be open.
That's your expression, then absolutely. I mean, she's just so talented.
Well, speaking of that, Donna, does she ask you like a battery of questions? Like, how does that start? Like, what could we expect because I'm interested. I know people out there are interested. Can you give us like a little tidbit of inside information? Are you allowed?
Be comfortable. She said, if you want to have a glass of wine, have a glass of wine. If you want to have water, add some water, whatever. Right. She said, just get comfortable and just relax. And like, that's it. So I told her before we started the session, I smudged. I had my crystals out. I set myself up for complete, like, positive energy work, because I was in a really great place anyway. I had story time. We had our meeting. So I felt like everything was aligned. But I just wanted to make sure that it was like the best beginning to it. And she said, tell me a story. Just tell me something about you. Tell me a story about you. But it wasn't because she wanted to paint, what happened to me. It wasn't like a hieroglyphic. It was basically, no, seriously.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like more interesting if you don't give her too much information and see what comes out. Like, I don't know. That's what I'm asking. That's why
she just wanted me to, just speak freely. And then she felt like once you do that, you could have this openness to your soul. And it's really wild because, this is like all in my wheel. Like, I love this. It's my jam. I love all of this, right? I have a painting on my wall that I've had since the kids were little. And I'm going to share it with you if you don't mind, because it's my painting. All right. I painted this years ago.
Oh, I love that.
I painted this. I don't even know if there's a date, but I used to paint all the time when the kids were little because there was no paint and sip. I could have invented it. We could have been sitting on millions here, ladies. That's what I used to do with my girlfriends would come over and I'd say, come over and paint. The kids are asleep, and bring a bottle of wine. And we would literally do this at my table in my kitchen. But I said to her, I have to read this to you because this says,
try to read it.
Yeah.
the key to my heart is held only by the one who knows how to make my heart fly to heights never before known. The key unlocks the door to my soul, my home. And
That's awesome.
yesterday we're sitting and we're talking, and she said to me, you know, once I get in there, and when I get into your soul, like it's like I have a key to go into your soul. And I'm like,
wow.
Oh my God.
And I had shown her some of the artwork I've done, because the day that we were talking, there was like this huge conversation about it. But like that painting is from 15 years ago at minimum.
Wow.
And I'm like, this is so cool. I freaking love this. I love it. I love this. I love this. I love us. I love anybody that's drawn to and attracted to us. I just think it's fascinating.
Me too.
It is fascinating. Okay, so you know what we have to do, Donna, which we forgot about talking about? I don't know if do we do our sponsors? Are we doing our sponsors?
We never forget about our amazing sponsor.
I know. Well, because this is new format, which I love so much. It's so exciting where we all...
You go first. You go first.
Okay. All right. So first sponsor that we're going to talk about, we are so very excited to have. She is phenomenal, and her site is called Nikki's Little Shop of Horror, and she is giving us a 10% discount off of anything that she carries, and the discount code is Mystic10. Again, that's Mystic10. She's on Instagram. She's also on Etsy, and she does the coolest artwork. It's resin art, okay? So It's a one-woman show. She does everything herself. All the things that she does are original, so they are one-of-a-kind gifts. She does really cool resin art. She does earrings, she does jewelry, she does art pieces, like wall pieces, you name it, she does it. They're so original, they're so colorful, they're beautiful. You will definitely love them. So I want you guys to go check out Nikki's Little Shop of Horror. Again, type in Mystic10, you get a 10% discount from Instagram and Etsy. It's a one-woman show. Let's support and sponsor her. She's terrific. She's a sponsor of ours, so we love her stuff, and you will too. Check her out.
Beautiful stuff. And all the things that you see that are floral or anything that has to do with like little looking bugs, it's all synthetic. She would never harm a fly, basically. It's all resin. It's beautiful. Yeah.
That's really cool.
It's beautiful stuff.
You have somebody you want to talk about?
Me? Yes, yeah. I do. I want to talk about Mystic Moon Pixie. Her stuff is beautiful. It's also all very original. She has she is giving us 30% off. So you guys have to go check out her page. She has canvas. It's all art on canvas on wood slice, which is really cool. She slices these pieces of wood and then puts quotes or paintings on them, and they're all original, all different. She has Zen art, celestial Zen art, but it's all really different. You have to go check it out. Very, very colorful, very, very original, beautiful stuff, and 30% off. I mean,
nice.
You've got to
can't go wrong with 30% off. That's really generous. I love hearing about that.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go, Donovan.
One of my favorite
big guns,
right? Dirty Bone Soap Company. Father's Day is coming up, and sometimes dads smell. Okay, so what I want you to do is go over and check out Dirty Bone Soap Company. You can check them out on Instagram, and I have to show you. This is the one that we actually have some of their stuff. I love this. Comes with the packaging. Dirty Bone Soap Company. This is the one that made me think of dads, actually.
The skull.
The skull.
Yes.
There you go.
Couldn't you just see that?
What does that one smell like?
Oh, just like a clean. Honestly, I couldn't give you the exact name.
Right, but it's like a clean smell.
Oh, Shari Freed. She got the soap from
thanks, Shari. You're awesome.
What'd you get, Shari? What'd you get? Which kind did you choose?
We'd love to know what you got.
Yeah.
We'd love to know what you got. But here, this is their black sugar soap.
Oh, that looks so good.
It does.
Black sugar. That just it looks like it's black. Nice.
Yeah, she got the blueberry and the rose.
Oh, blueberry
rose.
How
do you like them? Oh, we should. You know what?
Is it blueberry rose or is it separate or together? Blueberry rose or just
beautiful.
Blueberry and then rose separate.
Okay, got it.
What I love about them is they have a 5-star rating on Etsy.
Oh, I love
Etsy. This is soap. It looks like a crystal.
I know that's
I have a hard time using that though. It's so I would probably put it all throughout my house.
I know. I wouldn't want to use it at all. It'd be like, yeah. So let me.
It'll make your room smell nice. So
yeah,
I do the old soap trick where I don't know if you guys know about this. I'm sure you do, but if you put soap in your drawers, not your literal drawers, but you can put soap everywhere. But if you put them in where you keep your clothing, everything smells so clean and nice. I mean, on top of washing it, obviously, but it's like an added little zip. Everyone's always like, "Oh, your clothes smell so nice." I'm like, "Because I keep soap in my drawers."
Exactly. And their
Very
code is
cool.
Monday, all caps, 10. And, honestly, they just have really great stuff. And it's made in the USA. I think
And their packaging is gorgeous.
packaging
Donna.
is
That package.
amazing. I love it. So check them out. Go find them on Instagram or on Etsy because they're amazing.
We love our sponsors. Thank you, sponsors, for being
And
so great and
amazing.
sponsoring us. Oh, good.
Super fast delivery.
Oh, that's good to know.
Hers look like pyramids. That's pretty awesome. I love that you're like totally giving a testimonial. I think that'd be amazing. So this is the last week that we have these particular sponsors. Dirty Bones Soap Company will be back. They're going to be a longtime sponsor of ours, but that does not mean that the discounts go away. So please don't forget that once the show is done, that you could still go over and shop and use the discount codes.
Please
I think that's important. And then we'll have some new sponsors coming up next week. And we have, who we have to thank for that, right?
Boswell.
Boswell
rocks.
Thank you.
We love you, Boswell. Our executive producer, Mr. Boswell,
exactly,
aka Bosley,
exactly,
aka Charlie. We're not sure which one he is, if he's Charlie, Bosley, or Boswell.
Because
Charlie was like the big mahaf behind everything. Bosley was more like run around trying to keep everybody in line.
Yeah, I think he's more like a Bosley.
Yeah, he's more like a Bosley.
What's going on? How are you over at YouTube? I love that we're getting more viewers at YouTube. Please, if you haven't already, if you're watching from Facebook, go over and like, subscribe, and check us out at YouTube as well. You can still comment over there if you're used to being one of our Facebook fans, which we love. And we are always accepting people that want to actually either advertise with us or perhaps be a guest. We have so many guests coming up. It's incredible. I think we're booked out through August right now, but please check us out. You can get that information also on our YouTube page. Now, we have today as a recap and reveal show. And I have to say, we've recapped. I think it might be time for the reveal.
Oh,
I'm so excited. Kim, do you know what even the reveal is?
No.
It's such a big reveal that I have no idea what's
I was
happening.
like, yeah, there's a reveal.
Yeah, like, wow, it's going to be great. Okay, so here's the deal. My sister came to me and she was like, I found this woman who's really great. I don't want to give out the woman's information until I okay it with her. So what I'm going to do is email her, and then next week I will reveal who she is, because I just,
I don't want to overwhelm her.
I don't want to overwhelm her because she's already overwhelmed with work, which is great. But my sister's like, listen, I want to do a past life regression, but I don't want to do it by myself. I'm a little nervous. Will you do it? I'm like, yes, please. Past life regression. Like, what could be cooler than that? I have no idea how they do it. I have no idea what I'm in for, but I'm totally ready to do it. And it's going to be great. And she's like, well, it's like 2 to 3 hours. I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like, it's 2 to 3 hours of like work. I was like, okay, I'll try it. I'll do it. Whatever. So my sister came up. We went to this woman's beautiful home. It's gorgeous. It's in Maryland, and she's got this room where she does the regressions, and it is in the middle of the woods. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's all stained glass. There's all kinds of gorgeous art, kind of like what we just saw. Oh my God. And she has like stuff she travels the world. So she's got stuff from Egypt in there. She's got stuff. I mean, it's just, the minute you walk in, it's like a mystical, like you just feel like, what you feel like? If you guys watch Harry Potter, you feel like you're in.
I've never seen Harry Potter.
Oh God, Donna,
I'll watch
I don't know
it
what's wrong with you. You need to watch Harry Potter. It just feels mystical when you go there. So I had no idea what to expect at all. I was like, okay, this is either going to be really great or this is going to be really weird and hokey and BS and whatever. So again, but being an open-minded mystic, we're all seeking, and I'm always like, I'll try anything, like just to see what it is and kind of go there and see what we get. So she put you, first of all, she's totally normal, has you fill out all this paperwork, asked you a couple questions, but not much, which I thought was great. Because I hate when they ask you like a million questions and you're like, okay, what are you really, I'm giving you all the answers. You know, it's like taking a test with all the answers in front. When this kind of thing, you kind of want to be like, I want you to tell me, I want you to see what you see. But it's you doing the work, not she's doing the work. So you're actually doing the work. So anyway, she asked me if I've ever been hypnotized before. And I was like, yes, I have. Have you ever done therapy before? Any kind of therapy? Yes, yes, yes. So they put you in this chair and she's got the music going and the music's like really nice and relaxing. And her whole ceiling is painted with clouds. It's beautiful. It's just like this huge room with a vaulted ceiling. It's absolutely breathtaking, her room.
Were you with your sister? I'm dying.
No, so nobody can be in the room with you.
Okay.
Okay. And she tapes it all too.
Was your sister doing it separately?
Yes. So my sister was out. She's got this gorgeous farm and it was a beautiful day. And she basically says, go wander on the farm. You can go do whatever you want. They have a lake. They have everything. And it's just like a very calming, beautiful atmosphere. So my sister went and, my sister's got 2 little kids. So it's fabulous. It's like the first time she had a block of 2 hours to just sit in the sun and relax. So she loved it. So anyway, they put you in this really nice, comfortable armchair that reclines. And then she's like, okay. And they start to hypnotize you by doing the countdown and everything they do. And then they were like, okay, you're walking down a set of stairs. And I could feel myself walking down the stairs, but I couldn't see anything. And I'm thinking to myself, shoot, like this is going to suck. Cause I can't, usually I'm excellent at visualizing. Like if you say to me, visualize a red ball, like I could do it, whatever. When I was doing this, I couldn't visualize anything. It was just dark. But then as it's going, I'm starting to see color. So I'm not seeing any visual things, but I'm seeing color. And she was like, that's fine. Everybody interprets everything totally differently. So then she's like, okay, I want you to just get on this. Like, I know this sounds crazy, guys. So
doesn't sound crazy. You're on open-minded.
I know, but it did. I was like, okay, I'm just going to go with it. And she's like, okay, you're going to get on this cloud and you're just going to travel and you're just going to let it take you where it's going to take you and just relax. So it's like you're traveling. Again, I didn't see anything other than colors, but I would see very distinct colors coming in front of my eye.
What were the most, what's the most
purples? I saw a ton of purples, of purples and blues. Okay. So then she's like, okay, now I want you to get off. You've landed. You get off the cloud. You gently get off, step down. What do you have on your feet? And I'm like, I don't feel anything on my feet. There's nothing on my feet. She's like, okay.
Were you at the beach?
No. She's like, are you okay? So then she's like, okay, you don't feel like you have anything on your feet. Are you sure? I'm like, yeah, I don't have anything. My feet are bare. I can tell that my feet are bare. She's like, are you wearing a dress? No, I'm not wearing a dress. Are you wearing pants? No, I'm not wearing pants. I'm wearing like not much. I can tell that I'm not wearing much. Right. And then she's like, what are you walking in? What do you feel? And I'm like, I'm walking. I could feel that I'm in nature and I could feel that it's really wide open. And I can feel that it's like dusty dirt. I'm walking on dirt. And then she's like asking questions. And then it came to me and I didn't even see it. It comes to you in like a feeling, right? Like, when you're in a dream and you just know where you are and you know how you feel, even if you don't see it. I don't know how to explain it other than I could feel everything that was happening, but I couldn't visually see it. But then my mind would say things to me. Like I would go, oh, the dirt is, she's like, okay, so is it like wet dirt? Is it muddy? I go, no, it's dirt, but it's red. It's red dirt. It's red. It's like where I'm walking is red. And then all of a sudden I was like, I'm in Australia. I know I'm in Australia. Out of nowhere, like I don't know where that came from. I wasn't thinking that. Right. And then she said, what do you see? So again, my eyes are closed and I'm seeing color, but then all of a sudden I see stars. So I'm like, it's at night and I can see the stars and the sky is like purple with the stars. And I'm like, okay, but I'm outside and I'm like in a cave. I can tell I'm in a cave. I can absolutely see that I'm in a cave and it's this red clay, blah, blah, blah. And it's all starting to like come out. And then she's like, what's happening? And I said, and she'll ask a question. And the weirdest part, guys, is she asks a question and your mind goes right to the answer. Like my mind I just started saying answers that were like so out of left field. I'm like, I don't even know where these are coming from, but That's awesome. I was like, there's somebody in the cave trying to get us out. And she's like, us, are you there? You're in the cave with people? I go, yeah, I'm in the cave with like 50 other people. How big is this cave? I said, it's huge. It's like this huge cavern. And I can see down into a canyon. So if you've ever, you know what I mean? When you're out West and you see those caverns and it's like almost like the Grand Canyon, I could see down into a cavern. And then she's like, are you a man or a woman? I was like, I'm a man. I can definitely feel that I'm a man. And I'm also very tall. Which is so hilarious because
you're a short woman.
Whenever I'm in an altered state of any kind, I have to say this was so funny. The first time that I ever partook in the beautiful cannabis. Yes. My first thing that I was like, I am so tall. I can't believe how tall I am looking down at it. You know, literally, I'm 5'1", ladies and gentlemen. And in this, every single time I'd be like, I cannot believe how tall I am. And I would feel the sensation of looking down on people, always looking down whenever that would happen. And so in this, I felt that I was very tall. I also felt that I was very long and very lean, which is the opposite of what I am now, right? So it's like, I felt the opposite of who I am. So anyway, she also said, these people are being driven out. And I was like, yes, they're trying to be driven out. And what's happening? I said, they're not being hurt, but they're trying to be driven out. And I'm trying to direct them out of the cave another way. Are you a leader? Yes, I'm their leader.
Of course.
Yeah, I know. I was the leader of whatever was happening. And then I'm trying to lead them out one way. And the people that are trying to not hurt them, but get them out are trying to lead them out another way. And so then I say, I snuck out of the side of this cave. I know like a back way to get out. And I'm watching as they're being led down to this river. And in the visualization, I can see people going down into this river. And then I run down around the back of the cavern and I'm like I intercept them and I'm like, we're going to go to the river and we're going to escape through the river. And I'm sending them into the river, like, just jump in and go down, just jump in and go down, just right. And then she said, do you have boats? I go, no, we're just jumping in. We just have nature. So then it comes to me and she's like, why would these people want you out? And then I got really emotional. Like, I'm sitting in the chair, guys, the tears just start coming down. You know, it's like crazy. And I was like, we're Aboriginal and they want us out of here. Okay. Aboriginal. Could I be like the most opposite of an Aboriginal? You know, the native people of Australia, I was like, this is so bananas. And then she said, is there a message that you're bringing back from this life? And I was like, yes. And then I start crying even more. And I was like, nature, we have everything we need in nature, and we are not listening to nature. Nature is giving us everything that we need. Everything that we need is we have within us, which is like, of course, we all know that. But then we don't all know that. I guess we innately know that. We should know that, but we don't put that into practice. But in my thing, it was like, nature gives us everything we need. Stop looking outside of nature for what you need. It's all right there, right? So then all that, I'm like, oh my God, that's so crazy. And then also in this vision, she's like, are you helping people do something? And I'm like, yeah, I'm helping people like cross over to the next world. I can feel that I do that. And she's like, how do you do that? I'm like, I put them, I know it sounds so nuts. I put them on.
It doesn't.
I put them on an animal, a spirit animal. And then they go with, like, I see them, like I put them on a lion and then they go, but they're not going like riding out. They're going up into the sky. Right. So it's almost like a carnival ride where it's like a Ferris wheel where you get on those horses and then they go up. So in my vision, these people were getting on these different animals and the animals were just taking them up into the sky. It was so into the stars, right? So then you wake up and you're just, I was like exhausted. This is 2 to 3 hours of going through this. I'm giving you like nutshell. And I was exhausted, like emotionally, totally spent. And when I say crying, it's like, I'm not a big crier, not at all. I'm not a big person that shows my emotion outwardly, not too much. Like I am with people that I know intimately, of course, and with kids and old people, but like most people, no, I'm just happy. You know what I mean? But I'm not overly emotional. I was so like, I couldn't stop crying. It was so crazy. And it wasn't like sobbing. It was just, the tears were just coming down. So the bananas part of this whole thing is,
oh my God, there's more.
When I woke,
so many things I wanted to ask you.
When you come out of it, she's like, how do you feel? I'm like, this is so crazy. But when I was in high school And my parents, we were looking at colleges. My parents were like, where do you want to go to school? And I said, I want to go to the school. I want to go to the University of Sydney in Australia. And they were like, what? I was like, yeah, I want to go to Australia. What? And they were like, what do you mean? This is when I was in high school. What do you mean you want to go to Australia? I'm like, I don't know why, but I just want to go to Australia. I want to go to college in Australia. And my parents were like, no way are you going to college in Australia. That is too far. You know what I mean? We'll never see you again. And so that's so weird because I've always had this weird draw to Australia. I love Australian men. I love Australian accent. I love everything about Australia. And also, when I was in high school, and this is so stupid, but it's hilarious. Men at Work, which is an Australian rock band, was my favorite band. I loved Men at Work. I loved everything about Australia.
I want a Vegemite sandwich.
I want a Vegemite sandwich. If you guys remember General Hospital, Tristan Rogers was my favorite guy. I was completely in love with him. He's an Australian actor. Everything was Australia. And this is even crazier. Whenever, I don't know if you guys are familiar with rugby. I love sports, so I watch rugby, but there's a team from New Zealand called the All Blacks, and they represent the, I'm going to say it wrong, but I want to say Malawi people, which is their indigenous people. And they do this thing called the haka before every game.
Yeah.
Okay, if you've ever seen the haka, yeah. It's really impressive and it's scary and it's interesting and it's what their warriors did to intimidate and to also honor whoever they were going to fight against.
Right.
I'll never forget the first time I saw the haka. I started crying, like just tears coming down. I don't know what it was. I was like, I don't know why this is eliciting this kind of reaction from me when I see the haka done, but just tears. Every time I see the haka, I cry. It is the weirdest thing. And then this all tied into it. I'm like, this is like, oh, it must have been like, obviously New Zealand is right next to Australia. They're indigenous people. I'm sure there's somehow.
Maybe those are the people that you helped.
Right. Or whatever. I'm sure I don't know if we fought against them or whatever, but I was like, this is so crazy.
That is so cool. I have so many things I want to say.
And can I say one crazy thing? Before I went on this past life regression, you guys know, obviously behind me, I love antiques and I love to travel. And whenever I travel, I grab something for whatever country that I'm in because I love that as a reminder. So we're going through this antique place and I'm actually looking for a set of horns because I have this bullfighting poster from Spain. And I'm like, I want, those old fashioned horns. I'm like, I want these and I can't find them anywhere. So I figured, okay, I'll go into it. I'm going through, can't find the horns, but I walk past this table of this traveler. This guy's obviously traveled all over. And I see this piece and it's like, I have to get that. I don't know why I'm so attracted to that. I have to get it. And I got it. And I was like, I have to get this because it's going to remind me of my warrior spirit. This is before I did this past life regression. Look at this piece that I pulled from that.
Wow.
Is that crazy? It's gorgeous. I was like, okay, I don't know if you guys can see that right.
No, we did.
Absolutely, I can see it.
It's cool. And I walked by it and I was like, I don't know why, but I have to have that. I love it. I don't know. It's like calling my name. I have to have that. Is that amazing?
Amazing. That is so cool.
It all happened.
That's amazing.
I know. I was like, this is crazy. But I had such affinity for Australia always my whole life. And now I feel like I know why.
Do you know what's funny that you say that? And then I want to know what your questions are. I loved Australia when I was a kid and always wanted to go. And did you remember Dot and the Kangaroo? We're about the same age.
I don't know what the Dot and the Kangaroo.
It was my favorite show. It was on HBO. It was a redheaded girl, and the whole cartoon, the whole show on HBO, you can look it up. It looks very, very antiquated now, but it was all about this girl named Dot and a kangaroo and her adventures. And I remember, I have the chills. I remember as a little girl watching her scratch the ground to get water to come up so that the kangaroo could drink.
Right.
They played the didgeridoo that you heard that.
Yeah, that
something scary that was going to happen. The didgeridoo got even, you have to check that out because since I was little, I cannot believe you said that because why we would never talk about that, but maybe that's why. Maybe
I know isn't that crazy?
Help me get onto one of those animals.
It was out in 1977. Dot and the Kangaroo. I don't remember this.
Oh
I
my
never
God.
Dot and the Kangaroo. That's
I'm gonna have to check it out.
something I would love too. I'll definitely check it out. But
Check it out. It's really old. I've put it on for the kids to see.
Okay.
Because if you look it up, you can look it up on YouTube and you'll crack up because you'll just be like, it is so antiquated looking, but it was on HBO. It was my favorite show, Dot and the Kangaroo.
That's awesome. Dot and the Kangaroo. I've never heard of it.
And I don't remember much from my childhood. But you said it came out in 1977. 5 years old. I remember wanting to watch that show.
Okay.
And I want to say to you, I wrote this down. I don't know where your sister went, but the first thing I thought you were going to say was Egypt.
Wow, that's so funny. Yeah, nobody went to Egypt. Nobody in Marco.
Honestly, I've read a lot of Dolores Cannon and I've read a lot of Brian Weiss, and so I love past life regression books. And so Dolores Cannon and Brian Weiss actually talk about lives between lives when we're like planning our lives. But one of the things I like about past life regression and what Abraham Hicks will say is that we don't really we build on what we know. So all that stuff you actually take with you. But I do believe that if we go to the life that we go back to, or that we choose to go back to, is a life that we may still be hitting on the lesson or part of the lesson right now, because you probably have had lives in every country. And I do believe that what I think karma is if you've been a short white woman in one life, you're going to be a tall white, like man, black man in another, or something like that. So I do believe we are constantly striving towards balance. And if you're bigoted against something, you may have been it, or chances are you're going to become it, right? So, although some of the books I read say that because of what's happening on the earth, there's less lives. So it's almost like we're in a celestial speed up, and we got to kind of get with the program. And Dolores Cannon, that's why she says there's the crystal children and the indigos, and there's people coming in that are trying to speed us up because we're not making this planet sustainable for many, many more go rounds. But we'll always extend. We'll find somewhere else to go. Anyway, so I'm interested why you think, what was it about that life that you think that you still are bringing into this one that could really...
Well, it's so interesting, Kim, that you asked that, because she asked me that very question. What's the lesson from this life that you need to bring to this life here? Yeah. And I was, again, that's when I started crying, and I was like, the earth has everything that we need to do a better job of protecting her. But people need to understand that the earth provides for us. And so she's like, is that a message that you think you could get out? I was like, yeah, this is so crazy, because I thought of us. And I was like, yeah, actually, yes, that's actually something that I would want to talk about. And you guys know that I've had this weird interest. It's not weird. That's the wrong word. This totally new interest. I've always been interested in intrigue in essential oils and plants, and plants as medicine, and stones. It's just the earth. I'm an earth sign. I'm a Capricorn, so I'm an earth sign, and I'm very earth. Like, I'm very drawn to earth. I do grounding. I feel better when my shoes are off. I try to get my feet on the earth as much as I can. Like, I'm very cognizant of that. Like, even when I go running, and even when it's like chilly out or whatever, after I go running and I'm hot, I will take my shoes off and walk in my backyard and just stand there, or just do laps in my backyard so my feet can actually be touching the ground. And I had this incredible experience. I think I've told you, I don't know if I've told you, Kim, but I went to this place called the Integratron in California, which is in the middle of the desert. It's and it's this unbelievable place. We have to go there. We have to do a live from the Integratron. Okay. But it's the one I talked about, where it is architecturally perfect, where you can whisper in it. And if I whisper in one corner, if you're on the other side of the room, you can hear it. Led Zeppelin actually recorded an album in there. That's how, like, it just the sound is fantastic in there. And it's made of all wood. It's all wood. It looks like a planetarium from the outside. And inside, it's just like a planetarium, but it's just wood beams. And they do the Tibetan singing bowls in there. They do sound bath. That's why the acoustics are perfect. But what it's on this meridian. So the Dalai Lama's been there. All these great healers have been there, because it's on these earthly meridians and at magnetic points where they say, like, all this power. And you go in there, you can just feel it. It's like, I swear to God. And again, I was a complete skeptic when I went in. I was like, oh God, this crazy crap. This is going to be total hippy dippy stuff.
Now look where you are.
Right? Oh my God, you guys.
Hello.
I have never experienced anything in my life. They did the Tibetan singing bowls. Like I said, we were put head first into a circle, and they did the Tibetan singing bowls, and it was like an alien was landing. I can't tell you how loud these things. It was like this, wow, 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 and you could feel it literally going through your body as it was going around the room. You'd feel it pass through your body, whatever noise it was, but it put you. Chris went right out. I had to like wake him up 3 different times because they said if you go to sleep, wake the person up next to you. You go in it and you come out of it feeling like you are literally plugged in. Like it's the craziest thing.
Can you imagine?
I sometimes get that experience because I do a lot of different types of meditation, and sometimes I'll meditate with sound. Sometimes I'll meditate and I'll have that experience where I'm like out of my body and just expansive and expanding. And like, then when it's done, I'm like, oh, like I'm in my house. And I'm like, how did that happen? But I really do. Seth, in the books, one of the Seth books, I have them all here, says that there's different power points on the earth and that there's different places. So if a city forms, it usually means that's a place for chaos. That's a place where a lot can get done. And in those more open spaces, that's for calm. And like, that's how, if you look at the way and he says certain people are designed to live in certain areas because it's more in harmony with them. So where we end up we tend to end up on the planet. We're drawn to the place that will bring us the most harmony. So he actually says that in the book. So if you're born in a place, it's because you're somehow, and you feel like the need to stay there, it's because you somehow harmonize with the energy there. And if you feel that desperate need to move, like my daughter who wants to move halfway across, and I'm like, oh, maybe something's in the Pacific Northwest for her. Like she keeps talking about it. She's so drawn to it. I'm like, wow, there must be something out there for her. But we're going to go there first before we decide to let her actually move there.
Yes. But I totally agree. I totally see that.
One of the things I just wanted to comment on, a visual, when you were explaining you're helping people out of the cave, is that's also watching you work when you were working for the Mel Robbins show doing warm-up. That was you. You've always, like, to me, that was a visual it made total sense to me. Like, you are a person that is very good with keeping people calm, crowds, control. I mean, like, you're very good with an audience. And what's an audience but a large group of people?
Right.
We're a cave nowadays, but like, a nightclub where you might do comedy. It's dark. There's probably a lot of dirt on the floor, but
I never put that all together. There we go.
I really feel like that I could see that when you were saying that.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
And you have a very large personality, even though you are a smaller, in stature of size person.
Right.
Your personality and your energy is very large. And it definitely goes out way beyond you and the size that you are.
Right. And it was just, it was so fascinating, guys. I would say if you have the opportunity to do it, absolutely do it.
Even Sherry.
Sherry Freed. Love her.
So
but
cool.
If you have the chance to do it, it was such a cool thing. And again, it just opened me up again to it verified to me with open-minded mystics. I know I'm on the right path. I already know I'm on the right path with this because I get this feeling. I don't know if this happens to anybody else, but I get this shudder that goes through my body. It's like I can feel it. Like when I'm talking about something that I get really excited about, it's like a weird, like I can feel it.
It's alignment. It's alignment.
And it rarely, like it happens so that it's so like obvious when it happens and it doesn't happen a lot. So I know it's not like, it happens all the time. And I just
gas.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't happen all the time. And it's like almost like an internal shiver. Like, when you shiver when you're cold, it's like that feels like that. It feels just like that.
That
just
makes
like
sense.
that. And I know, like when I
nail on the head feeling.
Yeah. When I think about this and what we're doing and the ties to nature and the opening your mind to the world. And I just so believe in that. It's just crazy. Like how much I believe in that. Like I said, I wasn't schooled in any kind of organized religion, but I've always been extremely spiritual. But this nature stuff is like, I can't even tell you how much I believe that. Like that nature is this obviously the secret
Well,
to all
yeah,
this
it
stuff.
just like reaffirmed it for you.
Yeah.
It wasn't out of left base what it was. Kim,
Right.
did you want to say something? Because
Yeah, I have two questions. The first is, did you at so I've tried to hypnotize. I do a lot of meditation, and I never really get like where I don't know what's going on, right?
Oh,
Like,
you know what's going on the whole time.
right,
It's
because
you don't.
sometimes you see those people who are on stage
You're
and they
like,
don't seem to know. Yeah, I'm like, that doesn't feel real to me, but maybe,
yeah.
you know.
No, it's not like you're out at all. Like you are completely there. That's why it was so weird, Kim, because it would be like I'm sitting here with you, but just in a very relaxed state. And she asked me a question, and the answer would just pop into my head. Right? She'd be like, "Where are you right now?" And I'd be like, "Australia." Like, where did that come from? Right? So it's not like you're not out of it. You're just kind of really relaxed, and someone just asks you questions, and the answers just come into your head.
My other question is, how was time? Like, did it feel like time? There was no time. Did it go really quickly?
It flew, and it was mine was 3 hours, and it flew.
Right.
Felt like I was sitting there for like 15 minutes.
When you're in those states where you're really relaxed and really connected and just there is no time, because that's what of Course in Miracles teaches, is that time is really a human construct. Because if you think about it, when you're doing something really awesome that you love a lot, right? Like if you're, I don't know, with your kids or having ice cream with your parents or something that just where you're just present and really happy, all of a sudden time flies. But when you're like cleaning your bathroom, you're like, is this ever going to be done if you don't like to clean the bathroom?
Or when you're doing open-minded mystics that we're already at the 50-minute mark.
I know, I can't
yeah, well, yeah, there you go.
That was the perfect little segue right there. I know we want to have your sister on, and I know we don't want to talk about her experience. I mean, I really do want to talk about her experience.
Yeah, I do.
Can you just, my question is, was your sister's experience anything like yours, or were you
totally different, completely different, completely different,
that
completely different places, completely different vibe? It was so interesting.
You're like, a very short African-American Jewish man.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Like we talked about it, and I was like, wow, this is just so interesting. But hers made sense for like certain personality traits that she has. I was like, it's really interesting. Yeah, really. And it's not all good either. She had some like negative stuff that came up. You know, mine felt like definitely we were being persecuted. Like it wasn't like a happy scenario where we were like leading at it. It felt like, you know, what we did to the American Indians and what the Australians did to the Aboriginal people. You felt that kind of like they're just trying to drive us out of our own land, and it's a hostile environment and that kind of thing.
But I do think that they say we've had it all. We've been good and bad. We've had experiences of doing horrible things, and I mean, if you think about your own life, there's things that you've done where you look back and be like, oh, I could have done that better, right? Sure, even now, like there's always things that I'm like, oh, I could have gotten that better. So I think that we've all had. I think that if you look at your past lives, if you're very calm and loving and giving now, there's a chance that that was built on a lifetime of not being so calm and giving and loving, to say it very nicely. But you know what I mean? Like I think we've experienced everything, and that is a blessing. And if you're living a life where you're not too proud of yourself, relax, because the universe will even it out, right?
So Barry's asking a question. She said, did you each hear each other's, and how long was Jen's? And yeah,
Jen's was 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. And no, I couldn't. She doesn't allow anyone else in the room. So you're not allowed to be in the room. She does tape it for you so you can listen to it again. And I have to do that so you can listen to it and get more things out of it. But she doesn't allow other people to be in the room, which I get. Because she's like, I don't want you to be distracted or worried about what you're saying. Because to Kim's point, you're not out of it. You're just relaxed. You're not in like a zombie state. Although she said she's had a couple people do that, where they go into like this catatonic state.
Like a trance?
And they have no idea, like when they wake up, they have no idea what they said or where they were or anything like that. But I did not experience that. My sister did not experience that.
I have a question. So because we have lived many past lives, is it just like for this particular thing, has she had anybody that did she tell you that anyone has come back and said they've had multiple? Or
oh yeah, everybody. She went into other ones. You go into like a couple of them, but this one was the one that was very clear to me. The other one was clear, but not as clear.
Can you tell us what it was a little bit? Or
yeah, it was. I was out west, which is so interesting to me because I'm completely drawn to the west. I've always been drawn to the west, and I was it's just so interesting. I was a teacher, and it was like I don't think I was way out west. I think I was like Midwest. It felt like Little House on the Prairie, basically, was what that feeling was. And that one was a lot more graphic, where there were people that had broken into the school, like bad guys, and they'd done all kinds of stuff, not to me, but to the kids. And I felt like I was responsible for the kids. It's like a very similar storyline where I was responsible for people and trying to protect them. And but it was neat. It was cool.
That's cool.
But the first one was crystal clear, where the other one was a little murkier, like as far as the details.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Kim, any other questions?
No, but I actually do. Like, when you were done with the whole thing, did you feel like you wanted to know more? Like, would you do it again, or do you feel like it was complete?
Yeah, no, I would definitely do it again. I thought it was fascinating. I felt exhausted. It's a lot of work. Like, you just don't realize how much work it is going in. I thought, you're lying there. It's nice music. You're in a relaxed state. You think you'd be like, oh, I feel so relaxed. You feel like, oh my God, I went through the ringer.
Sometimes when I try to do intuitive work, that's like work, because you've got to get yourself so relaxed and so happy and calm and high up. They say that people who do intuitive work all the time, it's exhausting like that, because if you think about it, you're reaching up for information that's above you, or wherever it is. Maybe not, it might not be there, but what I mean is you're bringing your energy as happy or as high as it can go. I mean, high, maybe not necessarily in height, but high in vibration. And maybe that's the same kind of thing.
Yeah, that's a good question. Yes, we did. We're both of us, Jen, my sister and I both said, totally exhausted. Like, you ran a marathon exhausted. Not that I've ever run a marathon, but I have done a 5K. I kind of like full out exhaustion. Like, I used to play soccer. And after, you play soccer, you're just like that. It felt like that. So you definitely feel like you're going on a journey and you feel taxed for sure. So I would say that to people. And they tell you before you do it, drink a lot of water. Make sure you have like you ate a nice breakfast. Like it's like she gives you all these kinds of instructions where you're like, why do I need to do this? But it makes sense after you do it.
Well, when you're rescuing people out of a cave, you probably want to be fed.
That's right. Exactly.
You know what I mean?
When's the last time I ate? Who knows? You know what I'm saying to you?
Exactly.
At least have a breakfast bar for that poor Aboriginal guy.
Exactly. Well, ladies, this has been an amazing show.
As always.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited because now I have more questions to ask for Ungela Grace when she comes back on. Like, was she tired after the painting stuff? Like, trying to, elevate and talk to my soul and other people's souls. And I can't wait to find out what's going on with that. And that was exciting. I can't wait. We have to have Jen on as a guest. Definitely.
Yeah, she would love to. I'm sure she would love to talk about it.
That would be awesome.
Cool. Yeah, really,
you know
really
what time
cool.
it is, right?
Oh,
it's
party time. It's party time.
That's right.
Party
You love to sing. I love that you love to sing. Maybe you were singing while you were leading them out. The acoustics were probably great in that.
Oh, now what will be great? We'll really hit the nail on the head. Is if I pick up a didgeridoo and I'm really just naturally good at.
Oh, you need to. That would be amazing. That would be amazing.
I'm gonna have to get myself a didgeridoo just to try it out. You know that.
Yeah,
but now the need to go to Australia is even greater. I'm like, I have to get to Australia.
Have you ever been there?
No, and I've traveled.
Well, yes, but not in this lifetime.
Not in this life. But like I said, I've always been super drawn to it, and now I know why. I'm going to get there, and I'll be like,
here she goes again.
This is Africa, but that's
we
lying.
need to take an open-minded mystic field trip.
Yes,
we definitely have to take an open-minded field. Yes. An field trip. If your energy is connecting tonight with Kim Mazzella, then this is going to be the card for you. I'm already, look at me. I'm like taking control now. Like, you tell me.
Okay. Stop.
Okay. All right. This is for you, Kim Mazzella, and everyone else.
I love it. Give us
like my accent?
Yes.
Serenity
now. I need that card.
That is true. And harmony. Serenity.
And harmony. I'm writing it down.
Perfect for you.
It really is.
All right, Miss Didgeridoo.
All right. Right there.
Here?
Right there. You got it. You got it.
Okay. All right. You ready? So if your energy connects now tonight with Tracy or anyone down under, we got self-acceptance.
Self-acceptance.
I like that.
And body care.
Oh, I like that too. All right. Okay.
That's some soap for you.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, once you do a little body care, you won't worry about being naked.
That's right. Perfect.
Okay. And if your energy connects with me this evening, all right, let me just see. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah. We've got manifestation.
Do it, girl.
Come on. And divine guidance.
Okay.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Awesome.
I love you. I love the show. I love our audience. I want to say thank you to our audience. Please do not forget that if you would like to be a guest, if you feel like you would like to come on one of our future shows, please get in touch with Boswell, aka Ryan, through our YouTube page. The information is there. Check us out on all of our socials. Make sure that you subscribe and share with your friends. Ladies.
Okay, before we go, wait. I want to say one quick thing. Great
Yeah.
show. Oh, thank you, Angela Grace.
I got 5% left on my battery. Go for it.
Okay, I'll be really quick. Open-Minded Mystics on Instagram. We are Open-Minded Mystics. We are also the Open-Minded Mystics, but we're going to be moving everything over to just Open-Minded Mystics. So if you are on any of our socials, go to Open-Minded Mystics and just join and subscribe and tell a friend, because we appreciate it. And we just I want to make sure everybody's getting all of our information.
That's right. And don't forget to shop over by our friends. Oh, my computer's don't forget Dirty Bone Soap Company. We've got the Mystic Moon Pixie. And I don't even mean to be doing that. My battery's dying. Nikki's little shop of horror. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been amazing. Love you. Look, we're in slow motion now.
Happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.